Hey guys, so I'm just doing a quick update on my hair after wearing it totally down pretty much for the past few weeks. So it's been 3 weeks since the last video that I posted. So this is how my hair is looking after those 3 weeks. So there has definitely been some somewhat changes, major changes that have happened from me wearing it down and not in any kind of like specifically some style, just letting it, you know, rub up against the couch in my bed. And I mean, I'm wearing a bonnet at night, but like letting it just do what it needs to do so that the locks can start taking like shape and kind of tangling and doing what they need to do and not being in the perfect twisted position in between my retwist. So I actually have a retwist coming up this Sunday, and I'll retwist it into some style for about a week, and then I'm gonna do the same thing, let it out. So a lot has changed. So the straight ends that I had are now showing, let's try this side without the dog, that's black and matches my hair. So that my ends are now in like curled in their normal curly position that they would be like if my hair was being worn curly. These straighter looking ones are ones that I braided the ends for, so that's what they look like. But otherwise, pretty much the ends and even the actual lock itself is just looking like curls, but at least the curls are still tight together and controlled. So they started doing this about 3 to 5 days after I made the last video, and they didn't get wet. I don't know if it was just from like me sweating at night or just the fact that they were no longer in a style, but they just slowly started to somewhat come out of the twist, the actual comb coil twist, and then just kind of started going into their own version of like a looser version of my normal curls. So with that comes, let me see if I can show this. There is, actually, I don't know if this is gonna be visible. There is a lot of loose hair in here. Let me see, like that, there we go. So there's a lot of just like loose hair like this here, on my head now, like, and in my locks, just loose hair like that. I considered braiding some of that or trying to twist it, but I literally have sat there and tried like retwisting it back into whatever it was in, but nothing happens. It just comes right back out like that. So I'm just leaving it. They don't look bad. I mean, I recently just put some like smoothing serum in it earlier today. However, there are some days I wake up and it looks like really frizzy. And I mean, I guess it's just right now I'm gonna be going through the frizzy stage. You know, there's different, it's gonna be the ugly stage for a while before it starts looking good. So I'm definitely like in this super frizzy stage right now. And I haven't been wearing it all the way down too often because it is so frizzy. Like I literally have just put smoothing serum on my hair now, but like normally when I wake up in the morning, and you can't really see it right now because the background is dark, but like it's just like frizz out the top of my head everywhere. So I've had a few times where I've tried putting like just a little bit of like leave-in conditioner or something like that, and then like tied it down with a bandana afterward, and that kind of helped with the frizz a little bit. Otherwise, one of the things that I have been doing is just kind of like wearing it up in a ponytail, which looks pretty good when I do it like that. Or I'll just do like a little bit of a twist and then put some clips in and just kind of do like a half up, half down, which will look a lot like what I used to wear my hair like before. But because I work from home and I'm not really socializing that much, you know, due to everything that's going on, I don't really have any reason to try to make it look better, which is why this is like a perfect time to be doing something like this. I do have a wedding coming up at the end of next month, but I'll probably get a retwist done right before that and then just have it in a specific style. But if I had, like, I do have doctor's appointments and stuff to go to, so in that case, I'll probably put it up in a ponytail, or I don't know. I would probably figure out a little bit more unique things to do to help with the interesting frizzy look that I have right now going on if I had more places to go. But luckily I don't have any place to go, so it's okay that I'm walking around with like frizzy hair looking like a baby bird waking up in the morning. So it doesn't really bother me. But if, like I was saying, if I did have somewhere to go and I needed my hair to look a little bit more controlled, I would probably, you know, tie it down with a bandana after putting a little bit of something in it, even if it was just a spritz of water, and then twisting it up in some kind of something so it didn't look so frizzy. One thing I forgot to mention in my last video, which I did this time as well, is I'll go ahead and like pop up a little video of it, but I found a sea salt spray from Bath and Body Works when I was shopping their spring clearance. And I had seen in some videos and read in some places that trying a sea salt spray on your locks while they're forming will help them tangle and, like, you know, give it texture and help roughen it up and kind of help it do its thing so it doesn't stay like super soft and struggle to like actually make the locks. So I went ahead and purchased it because I happened to see it online. I was gonna just buy some random brand, but since I was already buying Bath and Body Works and they had one in a scent that smelled great, and I was already getting some other stuff in, I went ahead and got that, and I sprayed my hair down I think once a week for the last 3 weeks of my retwist before. And then this retwist, since I am going to be getting the retwist done in a few days, I went ahead and saturated my hair in the salt spray earlier this week, probably about 3 days ago, to help it kind of tangle in a little bit. And that actually did help with flyaways. Strangely enough, it helped just kind of get some of those flyaways to just like lock in with the hair. So I still have been, I've been trying a little bit to do a little bit less of like the combing out, because I think that might be what was causing all the loose hairs that I was having. Or you can see some of it right there too. I don't know if you can see that there. But I think that was causing a lot of loose hairs because I was actually pulling hairs out of the locks. But I do still need to like separate it every morning because I don't want them to start merging and growing together like that. But they don't look as great as they did, you know, that 1 week after my retwist, but I still think they look good. And I'm still enjoying the journey and the different stages of what it is doing. It's definitely like inches shorter than it was right after my retwist because my hair is just curled up. And when I was spraying it with the saltwater spray, it definitely lengthened from being wet. And like, I don't know if I can try to show this, but the difference between like what you see like that, and then if I pull it, it's still a lot longer. But length doesn't matter to me. I'm starting out with really long hair, so I know that the length will get shorter as the locks take hold and they start to tangle. I know I'll lose length, and I'm not worried about that because I expected that, and my hair was already long, and it's not going to lose too much length. But I just wanted to give a quick update and kind of show how things are looking right now. Trying to give a good view here. So any of the ones that are showing that look a little straight, like here, are the ones that were braided at the end because they had been unraveling too fast. And then there's just a lot of different ones looking differently. Like my hair feels locked all the way up to here, and then it kind of just looks like that here. So what my cousin and loctician is going to probably do this next retwist, which I'll try to get some footage of her doing that, is she's gonna try using a crochet tool to help bring some of these flyaways in and kind of help the locks like take hold a little bit better, like in some of this mid area where the locks are already forming pretty well. We're not going to do anything to the ends. This is just what they're going to look like. They're going to probably just be curly like that, and we'll just leave it. But for like the shaft, for like this one looks great. It has almost no flyaways, but that's special. Like most of them have like extreme, like I can feel the flyaways, but I don't think you can really see them right now because I'm not in front of like white. But most of them have a lot of like hair just that's not like bunching, but just like hair that's like separated out of it. And so she's gonna try using a crochet tool to try to pull some of that in. So I'll try to get some footage of that so that you guys can see how that looks and how she's doing that. But like right now my parts aren't as defined because they're starting to unravel, and you know, this is just what it needs to do. It doesn't look as clean. It doesn't look, I mean, clean as in like perfectly shaped. It doesn't look as perfect. It doesn't look the way it did a few weeks ago, but you know, you just got to let it go through its different stages and just let it do its thing. So I'm not even sure if to other people I look like I have locks right now. I think I just look like I have curly hair, but I'm enjoying it, and I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update, and I will let you know how it looks after the next retwist. So this is now officially, I think, 1 week and 3 days since my last retwist. So with this retwist, my cousin and loctician tried a new method so that we could try to help my locks kind of start to take hold a little bit more, because they were still doing a lot of just complete unraveling every time I washed them. So we decided to try this time doing more of like a instant lock technique, where she used a 3-prong crochet needle, and she kind of helped the locks kind of interlock within themselves. She went through and she did this to every single one of my locks. So I'm gonna start putting some footage up here on the side of showing like the process, what it looked like and what she did. But it definitely, it was great. It worked so well. It took so long. It took just as long as the original retwist. We were going till, I don't know, it probably took like, I can't remember anymore, but it was something around 8 to 10 hours again. I don't know if this is something that we should have tried from the beginning. I actually think this was perfect timing. I think this was the perfect timing to try this. Like my parts are already done, so it wasn't a matter of absolutely reparting. Obviously, she has to like refresh the parts every time. But because the locks were a tiny bit already established, there was more for her to work with the crochet needle. And I think if it was initially just my loose normal hair, since my hair is a little bit looser of a texture, it probably would have been pretty difficult. She was able to keep all of the length that was already like visible with my locks, and get them in there really good. She didn't do them super tight. She did them like a medium tightness, and okay, so it is like I said, like a week and a half after. So it looks probably close to what it looked like before, except for the main differences. Let's see if we can show this, is that this is completely locked now. Like these aren't twist. This is actually, you know, the hair is actually locked now because of the way she did the process of using that crochet needle. So I still have my braids at the end of some of them. We're just gonna leave that, but I'm just trying to show some examples. But like, of course I still have like, you know, my flyaways and stuff like that. And that's just my hair texture. It'll keep doing that. But like, I have no fear now of my hair unraveling all the way, which was always my fear, because there would always be a few in the front that literally after we washed it, it would be as if I never locked my hair. So this actually looks great. These are actually so much more voluminous and have so much more body than when we did the retwist. I'm not sure if it specifically has to do with the actual technique of doing the instant lock process, or if it's because we used a lot less product. So we only put product at the root of my hair this time. And so there's no product in my hair except for some like serum that I've been putting in to help keep my hair from tangling. So I think that probably does have a lot to do with it. My ends, when she first finished it, which you'll see in some of the pictures, my ends looked semi-straight like they usually do after the retwist process. And then they curled up and my hair has gotten more fuller, and it actually looks really, really great now. Like, I actually feel like I have locks now, like 100%. I know these aren't going anywhere, and I'm actually going to start trying to retwist myself slowly but surely at this point, because I really want, the whole point of me doing this was to be able to do my hair on my own in a better, easier way than what I was doing before. Obviously a lot less tension to my hands and stuff like that. So I want to try out a bunch of different methods of what I'm going to use to twist to then like clip it down, if I'm going to use the actual clips or try bobby pins or whatever. I'm going to see what just works best for me, what works best for my hands, and what works with time. I'm pretty sure I won't be able to retwist all of my hair in one day because I have so many locks. But I'll probably do like a quarter of my hair, or something like that per day, for a few days, once a month or however often I need. I've actually been retwisting, or I've done it once. I've retwisted just my very front, locks, because this top right here starts to get frizzy and look a little different, soonest, because when I'm washing my face or taking a shower, or if I sweat at night, like it's getting a lot more wet and getting a lot more stuff going on with it. So those will start to come loose more. So I retwisted them once. And so all I actually used was like a wrapping foam and just twisted it. I twisted them. I put a bobby pin in, and I kind of just did that to each one in the very front, just to try to keep a little bit more manicured look, because I don't know if you can see like back here, it's going to be frizzy, and it's going to be frizzy for a while until the locks have completely taken hold. Even when you do instant locks, you still end up with bunching, and you'll still end up with some frizzing, and your hair still goes through the changes. The difference is it won't unravel so easily. So she's actually done quite a few other instant locks since she did my retwist a week and a half ago. And she's getting really good at it. She's done some lock extensions and everything like that. So if we reach a point where we think maybe I need to do the instant lock process in some areas where maybe it's coming loose, or if I just want to get the root of my hair. That's one thing I love about that instant lock process, is that because she did it really close to my root, like there's nothing to really untwist very much. So like some of this was getting frizzy because it was getting wet and sweaty or whatever was happening, but it wasn't untwisting because it wasn't actually twisted. Its majority of it is instant locked. So it stays looking really good to the root, and the part staying there a lot better. And then she did, like I said, she did the perfect amount of instant locks so that I didn't end up with stiff straight locks, which I've seen can be a problem with instant locks, is they can be a little stiffer. They definitely felt a bit stiffer when we very first did them. We did it what we always do. She finished them. I sat under the dryer to help the product at the root set, and then we put it in a style just like what I was doing before. But I actually only held that style for one day, because the instant locks were so tight, and which they should be, they were perfect, but it was such a different feeling on my scalp because the instant locks were locked in the position they were in, that when we pulled it back into the style that we were doing, I had a lot more pressure and pulling on my scalp in the style. I didn't feel it when my hair was down, and I don't feel it now, but it was just when it was in the style, and it was just too uncomfortable. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to sleep as well each night if it was that stiff. So I gave it the whole day to kind of, to just kind of set and stay in the style. And then I took it down, and I was like, let's see what it's doing. So I've actually been wearing it down since the day after it was retwisted, and it looks great. It's been doing absolutely great. I definitely suggest this method I suggest this method, period. To be honest with you, like this put me probably like 3 or 4 months ahead of schedule with how my hair probably would have locked naturally. So I almost feel like I'm cheating. Like it's so awesome to know that it's like set in there, and my hair was going to take so long to do that. So if you can find somebody who has the patience to do the instant lock technique, if you are able to start them like that, I think that's great. Yes, locks are a process, and the process is the beauty of the whole thing. I feel like you're still going to be going through the process if you do instant locks. but you just need to make sure you find someone who knows how to do it specifically with your hair texture as well, because this could have gone very different. If she did it too tight, if she was too focused on trying to make them too tight and too perfect, they would have been so stiff and it wouldn't have looked like it does now. So it was like she did it the perfect amount so that my hair is still going through the locking process, except it has something more firm to hold on to. It was great. And I'm so grateful. It was so long and hard on her to do. It was hard on her fingers. It was hard on her hands, but it looks absolutely amazing. I'm so excited. I'm excited. I have a relative's wedding coming up at the end of November, so I'm excited to try some like different styles for the wedding, but just it looks so good. And I know probably because of my lighting and because of the serum I have in my hair and it looks a little shiny, it probably still looks a bit like a retwist, but I promise you it's not. It's still in the shape of that a little bit, just because that's how it was when she was using the tool. But like, these aren't twists. These are like actually are like all crocheted into each other. And like I was saying, like even when you do this process, it still bunches, it'll still frizz, it'll still do everything that it's supposed to do so that the locks can establish themselves in however way your hair wants them to be, except for you can have the confidence in knowing that they're not going to unravel if that's an issue that you're having the way I was having. So I think it looks awesome. I'm happy with the length, and I know they'll probably still get a tiny bit shorter still even, because they're still not 100% locked. Like my hair still needs to tangle up more. The ends still need to do something more. But it does look really great. She did such a great job. And I will insert, like I said, all the pictures and videos that I have of the process of how she was doing it and how it looked directly after, so that you could see in comparison to how it looks now. So this is a week and a half of me wearing it down, just wrapping it at night, and once a week putting some serum in it. So, and that's just to try to help keep it not look too dull. And but the serum, and you know, I know for some people like silicone products are controversial, but the serum really helps my curls at the end, especially not tangle into themselves. So it just helps keep like a slippage in it. So it's nice. It's really helpful for me, and it's nice and I like it. I'm sure I won't have to use it after a while, after everything's a little bit more established, but I'm so excited with the result. So I'll catch up with you guys in probably the next few weeks to see how the next retwist goes, or possibly to show the process of how I decide to retwist them on my own and what products I'm using and if I'm running into any issues. And I'm just really excited to share this journey with you guys. All right, bye.